Greetings and salutations, one and all. I'm so happy to be back making YouTube videos. I'm Sherry, and this is Quilts and Other Happy Accidents. Most of my quilts are charity quilts, and I'm using up as many scraps and stash as I can. I came across some end cuts at the place where I volunteer, and I used my treadle sewing machine to create this fun block using as many of them as I could. And it turned out really great. But I need your help. I can't quite figure out which layout I like the best. They're all half square triangles with um, with this Asian fabric on one side and these lovely strips on the other side. And I made them just using a sheet as a foundation to make squares and then sew them together as half square triangles. I had no idea there were so many ways to put together a half square triangle quilt. Think I may have discovered a new block. Not really. I just don't use a lot of half square triangles. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay out 3 different patterns. I want you to look at each pattern and vote and tell me which pattern you like the best. And that's the one I'll sew together. Our goal is to make a 70 by 90 inch quilt so that I can donate it to a local women's shelter. All right, let's lay out some patterns. As you might have guessed, I've divided them into color families. This is my blue stack and is by far the largest number of blocks I have. I have a few greens, a few golds or yellows, quite a few reds and pinks, and very few purples. Let's see what happens. I'm trying my hand at a kind of a simple design that's kind of a color wash. I'm not sure I'm happy with it. And even though I'm using my king size bed for my design wall today, it's going to be a little bit of a challenge. My design wall is truly not big enough for a 70 by 90 inch quilt, which, if you're wondering, is a Super King, or Twin XL. Okay, that's design number 1, which is a very simple diamond pattern. Kind of a color wash. I was hoping it would be a little more, whoopsies. I was hoping it would be a little more dramatic. All right, let's try something more dramatic. design number 2. Definitely more dramatic. I really like the way it uses this half of the triangle so that your eye uses the negative part of the fabric design. I really like that. That's design number 2, which I still don't have perfect, but I think we can all see the gist of it. There we go. No. There we go. What do you think? Design number 2. All right, as promised, I'm going to make one more and let's see what it looks like. Okay, here's layout number 3. Gonna go a little more traditional, maybe. Now I did plan, sort of, because I knew I had very little of the yellow gold and I had the most of the blue. Ah, oh, there we go. Well, you get the idea. Now I do need to have it longer than it is wide. So as we move out to these edges, I'm just going to have to sprinkle in some other colors to finish out the shape. The square inside the square is both dramatic and traditional, and it's dramatic because of the jewel tones that are in this quilt. A very traditional layout for a half square triangle. This is number 3. So decide which one you think is the best quilt layout. Be sure to vote. I'll leave the voting open for about 1 week. No, for exactly 1 week. And then I'll let you know which one of the quilt tops won. I hope you've enjoyed this adventure in quilt top design. I look forward to seeing how you vote. Thanks for watching.